escaping from its unbreakable prison with a flood of devouring flames. Face its wrath! Hellfire Seal Dragon Blockade Inferno! With Seal Dragon Blockade in the soul, he's full powered. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Steven Rodriguez. I'm your true champion, and I'm bringing you guys another Vanguard Zero video to help bring in the new year, because with this new year came a brand new set, and that set was Seal Dragons Unleashed, with tons of awesome support for Genesis, Narukami, Aquaforce, and of course, my favorite clan of all, Kagero. Specifically, we got the brand new Seal Dragon archetype, and I'm going to be profiling a really cool deck that utilizes that archetype to make Dragonic Overlord at the end one of the most powerful units in Kagero even stronger. I cannot wait to share this deck with you guys. I love it so much. It's kind of aggressive, actually, for the Kagero clan itself, and I really do like that about the deck, and I cannot wait to share it with you. If you guys are excited for the continuation of some Vanguard Zero content here on my channel, be sure to let me know by leaving a like on this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking that bell for notifications so you know when my videos go live for you. And if you guys want to see me using this deck live and in person, I'm going live this Friday at 9 AM PST over at my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TrueChampionSteven, and I'm going to be playing this deck for you guys live and in person. Might even do some viewer fights, so be sure to come stop by. Link is down below if you guys want to check it out. But without further ado, what do you guys say we hop into my deck builder and check out my super cool Kagero Seal Dragon Dragonic Overlord at the End hybrid deck list? Alright guys, let's begin. Alright boys and girls, here is the deck list. Now first things first, what is kind of the point of this deck? Essentially, you want to utilize the brand new Seal Dragon cards like Blockade Inferno to have really powerful late game pushes against your opponent that can help you seal out game. However, in the early game, we have a really powerful non-limit break strategy in the form of Dragonic Overlord at the End to add to our advantage while also pressuring our opponent at the same time. This deck takes busted DOTE to a whole new level, because now DOTE is merely the second factor of this deck, the second win condition. You could totally win with DOTE by himself, but in the late game, the main focus of this deck is going to be utilizing the really powerful Seal Dragon cards in order to activate Hellfire Seal Dragon Blockade Inferno's effect to get potentially 3 guaranteed attacks against your opponent, sometimes 3 while they're at 5 damage, which can almost seal any game you play in this current meta of Vanguard Zero. Speaking of Blockade Inferno, what does this brand new card from Seal Dragons Unleashed actually do? Well, he has 2 effects. First one, very simple, cross ride with Seal Dragon Blockade, which we do play 4 of in this deck. The OG from set 1 of Vanguard Zero, still being played to this day, 10 sets later, honestly insane. And his main effect that we're going to be utilizing to actually win the game is Vanguard Circle Limit Break 4. If 2 or more Seal Dragons are in your soul, counterblast 2 to get power plus 10,000 until end of turn, and retire all of your opponent's grade 2 rear guards. If you retire 3 or more cards, draw a card. That is going to be the sort of the main focus of all Seal Dragon cards, is retiring and manipulating your opponent's grade 2s. And in Vanguard Zero, where grade 2s are like the main defensive option for a lot of decks right now, this is a really pressuring effect, because not only are you removing cards from your opponent's board, but because you're retiring front row rear guards most of the time, you're also getting rid of intercepts, thus adding to your aggressive potential during your own turn. Super amazing card, wins games most of the time when he does get into play, and honestly, I just love the kind of changes to this card, and it's kind of like how much better it is given the Vanguard Zero mechanics. And to accompany this beautiful Seal Dragon finisher, we are playing tons of Seal Dragon Grade 2 and Grade 1s, but I'll talk more about those later on in the video. And rounding up the deck, we have some more Seal Dragon cards. Firstly, we have kind of like a secondary finisher, or like a second early game option in Seal Dragon Blockade. Very simple effect, all your opponent's units cannot intercept. So instead of like just blatantly retiring your opponent's rear guards to get rid of intercept, you're just turning off intercept. That way you can get in 3 guaranteed attacks against your opponent's Vanguard most of the time, as long as no defensive shenanigans happen or if you set up your columns properly. The second kind of really cool thing about this card is that it does enable our cross ride for Blockade Inferno, but also it can help us fix the amount of Seal Dragons we have in Soul, because sometimes you either didn't ride a grade 1 Seal Dragon or a grade 2 Seal Dragon, so you need to actually make up for that. Having a grade 3 Seal Dragon that you want to ride in the early game is actually super nice and is not actually a dead card. So Blockade Inferno is a really nice addition to this deck, both in the early, mid, and late game. Super cool card. And finally, to round off, we have our 13th grade 3 in the SP Hellfire Steel Dragon Weathercloth. This is the Steel Dragon Break Ride for Kagero. Really cool effects. The first one is the generic gain 3000 power during your turn if you have more rear guards than your opponent. And the actual Break Ride skill is when rode upon, your Vanguard gets power plus 10,000 until end of turn, and you retire 2 of your opponent's rear guards. Your opponent then looks at the top 4 cards from their deck, and they choose 2 random grade 2s to call them to the same rear guard circles that you retired. Your opponent cannot activate any effects of the units that are called. So this is actually a really cool card to either board clear your opponent or make them get those last grade 2s out of their deck to help you proc your Steel Dragon Blockade Inferno to get either the draw effect or kill potentially 4 units during your opponent's turn out of nowhere, which is honestly super cool. He's not necessarily the most needed for our main strategy of this deck. However, if your game is going a bit slower and you're like, you know what, I can afford to ride Weathercloth and get a really powerful turn with Steel Dragon Blockade, essentially getting a board wipe against your opponent, then there's no reason not to. And I do have an SP, so that's a nice touch. You could, if you wanted to, play Dauntless Drive Dragon instead of this card, so that we can have a really nice restand option. For now, I'm liking Weathercloth because, again, it is another Steel Dragon name that we can use to fix our soul for Blockade Inferno, and honestly, that's a really nice incentive to run it in this deck. But that's it for our grade 3s. Moving on to our grade 2s. First and foremost, we are running a gigantic Steel Dragon package because we want to make sure that Blockade Inferno's effect is always active. So we're playing 4 copies of the 10k vanilla Hunger Hell Dragon, 4 copies of the 12k attacker in Jacquard, really nice for just early game kind of beatdown. Again, a thing this deck wants to do because the more damage you do early, the less damage you need to do late, and the turn you actually ride your Blockade Inferno, it could be actually for game, which is super nice. And finally, rounding up the grade 2s, we have kind of like 5 little flex spots here in my opinion, but I do like the lineup right now. First, we have 3 copies of Bellicosity Dragon. I know this is not a Steel Dragon, but the countercharge is just so valuable for like our DOTE strategy side of this deck, and it's just like honestly super nice to always have counterblast ready, and I think Bellicosity Dragon is just a really consistent option for this deck. And rounding off, we have 2 copies of Steel Dragon Corduroy, SP, Steel Dragon Corduroy, which has a really cool retire effect on rearguard. When placed, counterblast 1 to retire 1 of your opponent's rearguards, and then make them look at the top 4 and randomly call a grade 2. This is the best starter killer in the game right now for Vanguard Zero, because not only is it really cheap, it can pinpoint retire, but it can also help you in the late game set up for Blockade Inferno's draw effect. So you can effectively go +2 against your opponent after potentially board wiping them, which is super nice thanks to a card like Corduroy. So playing 2 of it, while it's not needed, it's definitely nice. Rounding out the deck, of course, we have our grade 1s. First things first, we have Dragonmon Gojo, just the best card in any Kagero deck. Filters your hand, digs for your dotes, digs for your blockades, digs for your cross rides, digs for your PGs. Honestly, this card's so amazing, especially in a meta where like not attacking is actually really good because of Break Ride. You want to make sure you can always kind of Break Ride deny whenever you can, or stop starters from activating so that way you can kill them later on with Corduroy. Gojo's a super nice card. Up next, we have our 4 PGs. One important thing to note here is that you could play Barri in this deck if you want to, because there are a lot of like inherent crit decks like Jewel Knights going around right now. And so if you want to kind of avoid those like really rush damage decks, you can play the Barri instead. However, having the Steel Dragon name of PGs is also really important for this deck because, like I said earlier, you want to make sure that Blockade Inferno's effect is always live whenever you can. So I like playing Rhino Cross instead of Barri, but if you want to do like a mix or just go pure Barri, by all means go ahead and do so. Rounding up the deck, of course, we have 3 copies of Flanell the 10k attacker, 4 Steel Dragons, and 3 copies of Steel Dragon Kirsei. This has a really cool effect to when placed. If your opponent has a grade 2 unit at all, Vanguard or Rearguard, you can drop and draw from your hand. Again, adds to our filter for DOTE and is a Steel Dragon, so why on earth would we not play this card in our deck? But there you guys go. That is pretty much it for the deck. We were playing 9 draw and 4 heals because, of course, we want to maximize our hand consistency, and we're playing Conroe, the best starter in the game. So if you guys have any lingering questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, or better yet, hop into my Twitch channel. I do go live every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I spend a lot of time in just chatting, and I love playing Vanguard Zero and talking about it. So feel free to come stop by, hang out, ask some questions, and we can hopefully get a fun discussion going about this super awesome game. I would love to see you guys in there. Link is down below. And boys and girls, now that we know what cards actually go in this deck, what do you say we see what it can do over on the rank ladder? Alright boys and girls, here for game 1 fighting against Oracle Think Tank. So this is most likely a VP farm, but you never know, Magus did come out last set, so people might be on that Magus train. We see some Gurgit sleeves, usually we see sleeves as a good sign. Let's find out what happens. I'm going first, I got Gojo and Kirsei. So I'm just gonna put back this Kirsei because I have a good Steel Dragon Rai, plus a Gojo, plus a grade 2, and a DOTE. Easy. And we get the Rhino Cross. Ooh, this is a really good opening hand. I love seeing an abundance of grade 1s. And there we do see Tsukuyomi. So it could be a VP farm, but you never know. We're gonna play as if it's not for this first turn here, because it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go ahead and ride. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. I think I have too many things, because I'm not playing against a retired deck, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Gojo here, discard the Flanell, because we don't need it anymore. And dig through our deck. Bellicosity Dragon, very nice, good pickup. If he is playing an actual deck, I'll be able to get basically a free Conroe off. Always fun. All right, so far so good. Good for him, he gets the Tsukuyomi ride on Ichibiyoshi. What do you soul charge? Your soul charge is grade 2. Still has not proven to me that he is not a VP farmer. I will still operate as if he's not. Oh wait, we now know he's going aggressive, which the VP farmer would not do. So here we go, we're playing a real game. Always fun playing a real game. Not always fun playing against Tsukuyomi for real though, because you always gotta keep track of so much stuff, but don't worry, I'm a vet. I'll get the job done. Getting the heal doesn't matter because you got the draw trigger, so that's a little bit of a yikes, whiffing the heal too. Not always fun. And there we see the Hunger Hail, but I'll ride Hunger Hail, call Bellicosity, use Conroe, do all the stuff. Ooh, Corduroy. I can even use Corduroy here too. Ooh, very fun. I think Corduroy here is actually bad though, right? Because, I mean, I could kill this and then attack something. I actually don't hate it. I don't like it either. Because it still gets punished by him getting defensive. Does it shuffle my opponent's deck? I always forget. It does not. If only it did, that'd be so good for just ruining his thing. All right, so let's go ahead and activate Conroe. I know getting a PG like doesn't matter too much against this deck, but I still always err on the side of actually getting the PGs because I'd rather have the PGs still and not die to everything versus just die to Tom, if that makes sense. And yeah, I don't know here because if I Corduroy, he doesn't get something. I don't get any value in terms of aggression out of the Corduroy. But if I do Corduroy, he does get something. And if it's a Tom, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I feel like this is a mistake, but we'll find out together if it is. Okay, what is it? Oh, it does shuffle. It's a Wise Man. That's fine. For a second, I was like, no, Corduroy can't swing that, but Hunger Hell can. Tank it, and I do get the trigger. Okay, so I think this turn went as good as it could possibly go. Also, it did shuffle, by the way. So I don't know why it doesn't say it shuffles. Does it say it? It doesn't say that they shuffle, but I guess it's always implied that when you look at your deck, you shuffle. So that's cool, I guess. And he got the trigger. So, oh my God, everything came up Steven this turn, which is awesome. And we even have the Flanell in hand too to be another attacker. And he just whiffed 2 heals. He just whiffed 2 heals. Yo, what goes around comes around, I guess. I whiffed 1, he whiffed 2. Also, he's playing Meteor Wizard. Keep that in mind. I don't know why that's important, but I guess it is. 21k column? Maybe. So far, Corduroy is proving his worth in my deck, which makes me very happy. There we see the grade 2. And now that we have the knowledge that our effects do shuffle his deck, I feel like we can really mess with him actually, which is super fun. I also have a board of intercepts here, which is really good for stopping early damage, which I do like doing against Oracle Think Tank, because basically it means that cards like Tom are less valuable in the long run of the game. Another draw trigger, big sad, but it's all right. Rather they happen now than later when they matter. Because this deck, late game triggers are way more powerful than early game triggers. All right, as long as we draw a grade 2 or a grade 2 that I can call, or a DOTE, we're good to go. All those draws are live. The one draw that sucks. Ride. This is not a 10k attacker at this current point in time. I'm going to activate Gojo here because my hand is just not ideal. We're gonna ditch one of the Rhino Crosses and get a DOTE with it. Oh my God, boys and girls. Why is Gojo the best card in the game? I'm gonna go ahead and swing at this. 1 trigger is all we need. We get it right away. Oh my gosh. Why do I love Kagero so much? Why? Double trigger? Why is Kagero the best deck in the game? Can someone tell me? Can someone tell me why Kagero is just the best deck in the game? I want to know because it just is. It just is, man. Always is. Oh, that's so good. And we get a Rhino Cross back to make up for the one that we just lost. This turn could not have come better. Man, I've made some back-to-back risky plays right now, but they have paid off in the biggest sense. Guys, go big or go home. And there we see a heal trigger as our first check for our second twin drive. I am loving this turn so much right now. It's not even funny. Now, no grade 2s is scary, but only being at 2 damage is more than fine. By the way, I misplayed too. In hindsight, I should have called Flannel over here on the off chance he doesn't actually attack into it. That way I could still use it as a booster. However, I'm pretty sure he's gonna attack into it this turn because he's not gonna commit like an entire hand to attack my Vanguard only, right? He's gonna call like something by itself to get rid of the Flannel. I will say too, I haven't drawn a single Blockade Inferno or Dro check that many either, so I'm due for a Blockade Inferno to come to my hand, which if I just top deck it is the best ride in this deck right now, because now I just set it up and go, guess what, this guy's here, deal with him. Because I'm out of DOTE, so there's no point in trying to play for that anymore. There we see the Tsukuyomi. So far his stack is 10 cards, so we actually kind of held him off a bit from the stack too, which is super good. I think he was like debating staying on grade 2 there to get 5 deeper because he knows he's so far away from it right now. So go shuffle, love to see it. But, you know, it's whatever. Yep, he's gonna use the Gemini to swing at the Flannel. Makes sense. Man, that Gojo was the best Gojo of my career, I think. That was super big. Is he playing crits, by the way? He's playing crits, yeah. Speak of the devil, and they appear. He's even playing Magus, too, in here as like maybe a late game finisher or something. No triggers from us, so he's gonna push us to 5, but I do have 3 PGs, and I also have an abundance of heals and a very thin deck, so here we go, we're looking good, and oh, we just draw Kirsei, which I probably won't use, but it's okay. Always good to have more boosters. We drew Weathercloth, which I will ride here, because going for the break ride would be like imagine if we ruin his stack and then get 2 toms out of that too. Like that'd be like the craziest turn ever. So we're gonna do this, and nothing else. Yeah, I'm actually going to swing at the rear guard. I think, yeah, that's fine too. Do we get the heal here? We don't. Okay, so we are at risk here of dying to Tom, which I'm not happy about. But we've seen a lot of cards in our deck, and there's a very good chance I have a heal on top of that deck. I think it's like less than 25% that I have one, which is pretty good. Like 20% is pretty good if we need to miracle here, of course, which we don't potentially need to, because I also haven't seen Tom at all. But these decks can go a long time without ever needing to actually commit it. So we'll find out together if he has it. That could be him digging for it or just getting to his stack. There's Takitsuhime. Do we see the Tom? Because if we don't, we're not scared. If we do, we are very scared. He's doing it again. This has to be a dig for Tom, right? Like, I don't know why you would do this if you're not digging for Tom. Or PGs. You could be digging for PGs too. No Tom, just a promised daughter, boys and girls. We're fighting against the one Tsukuyomi player that doesn't play Tom, which makes me very happy, given that I've committed too much to to PGs and not to rear guards. But you know what? Never punished, always never punished. Now all we need is a top deck of a grade 3, and this will be the sackiest game I've ever played of Vanguard Zero, but you know what? I appreciate it. It's just fun seeing busted DOTE do busted things, right? Always. Do I draw the Hellfire? That'd be crazy if I did. No, Belkazi, that's fine. Let's see. The best play is call Kirsei, dump Kirsei, dig. Watch me get the regular blockade. Yep, okay. Yep, my Psyqualia works, just in a bad way. We're gonna swing, and then swing again. Not what I wanted, but it's what happened. We were pretty close to that heal as well, by the way. Just want to point that out. And now I think we're really close to the next one. It is either a draw trigger on top or a heal trigger, if you ask me. Imperial Daughter, yo, this guy is playing all the Oracle Think Tank cards, all of them, except Tom. Like, I bet you he only has 1 Tom in his deck, and he's like digging for it every single turn. He's like, where is it? I need it right now. Okay. And Wise Man, we don't die. He's not playing stands. Cool. How many triggers are gone for him? 6, 10? That's a lot. Probably has at least 1 in hand. I'm guessing 3 PGs in hand. Okay, that's a good heal. It's a very good heal, actually. And a crit. That doesn't matter. Oh, that's a really good heal, because now what will end up happening is unless I top deck, I don't even know what I could top deck, actually. I don't think there's a single top deck that lets me actually win the game this turn, which is annoying. Bellicosity, that ain't it, Chief, because I ride this here, right? Get rid of these. Imagine if I got rid of 2 cards, and that like meant he decked out next turn. That'd be crazy. Draw trigger, don't draw our heal. Don't you dare. Okay, that's great. If we check our heal here, I think we're good. We do, okay, we could, okay. This is big, because now we get a second attack, and we healed, which means we can take 3 hits. We were out of triggers though, so there's no world where we can stop 3 boosted attacks, but we can stop 2, I think, right? Because if he goes, he needs boosters essentially. And does he have draw triggers left? I think he might have a draw trigger left, chat, which comments, which if he does, would does it put one of your other rear guards? Okay, that's fine. Just puts the back one, yeah. So swing, swing, swing. He needs a booster. No booster. So that means he needs a trigger, which means it's a draw trigger, right? So if he gets the draw trigger as the first check, he loses. I'm like 99% positive he loses here if it's the first check. If it's not, he's fine. And I don't think he... What? I'm sorry? What? Oh, he knows he's out of triggers. He has no boosters, no triggers. We win. We just win. We did it. We did it. Oh my God, that was crazy. We did it. He could have 2 PGs. I'm gonna cross ride here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna activate effect, get rid of intercepts, swing twice, force out his entire hand. If he did not call those boosters, he's gonna regret it. He literally just had to call the PG from hand, and he wins. Like literally, he had one. He just had to call it from hand, and he wins. I don't know why he didn't do that. Like, have I revealed 4 PGs? I have. Like you knew I couldn't stop you. Yeah, there's both. Okay, but if we know he's out of boosters, he can't hit me now. And that can't even attack. Oh my God, did we win? Did we just cheese this? Is that a booster? Is that a booster? Is it a booster? Is it not? I don't think it is, because he drift check a grade 1. I think that was his last one. Is that a booster? I don't think it is. It's not, we win! He can't attack us. I have cross ride. Yo, that's a crazy game, bro. What a weird game of Vanguard Zero, but you know what? Here it is. We can't die. I cannot die. Oh my God, that's crazy, man. And I have 2 cards left. I know I don't have a trigger, but I'm just gonna call this. Activate Blocking Inferno again, kill the 1, swing with Hunger Hell, game over. Wow, that was so crazy. So many triggers on both sides, leading to this crazy game state where, like, if he just had Tom in his deck, he loses, or Booster, he wins. Sorry, if he had Tom, he's like, what a crazy game. Holy crap. Yo, that's just a taste of what you can expect from the TrueChampionSteven channel, by the way, guys. That's just a taste. Let's go ahead and go on to game 2. Oh, absolutely insane. All right, boys and girls, here we are for game 2, fighting against Kagero mirror match. Let's go. I love the Kagero mirror. Let's see how we can do. I wonder if he's playing Dauntless Drive Dragon, Pure Seal Dragons, or DOTE Beatdown, kind of like we are. Going second, this hand's interesting. I think I will peg these 2 cards. I want to get other grade 1s and 2s. And ooh, we get the DOTE, but we also drew a heal trigger. So not the best, but also not the worst. Conroe v Conroe, so could be anything. Let's find out what happens. There we see the Gojo. We're gonna, they would do a pure mirror match here, it looks like. Ooh, but he made a fatal misplay here because we do play corduroys, and putting a card behind the Vanguard is interesting. And there we see him passing, so that means his hand is ideal. We don't have corduroy, but we do have Hell Hunger. So I'm actually going to make a risky play here, and I'm going to choose to not attack going first. I will instead go for a Gojo and see if we can't dig for a corduroy. Because if we get the corduroy here, we can do a pretty crazy play turn 2. We get the Blockade Inferno, so you know what? I'll take it. My hand looks really good. I can't quite use Blockade Inferno just yet because I did ride Gojo, so I will be forced to either ride into like Blockade or get a second Inferno if I do want to go for it. And there we see the strike in, so my opponent will not be attacking me either. So we're probably playing against DOTE Beatdown, but a more classic DOTE Beatdown that isn't actually playing Steel Dragons at all. He might be playing regular Blockade, but for now, I'm just going to assume he's not playing any like heavy Steel Dragon package like we are. I'm gonna go ahead and go for a ride here, and then I think going for this 2 damage feels pretty good. It forces him to commit at least 2 more cards from hand to actually get off Strikin plus crit, and I might call this 3rd Bellicosity here to maybe force a Blockade ride. No, I want to hang on to Bellicosity, but I almost did it though. There we see the trigger. Do we get defensive here from my opponents? We do not. There we see the Bellicosity as well from him. Always got to analyze what my opponent is playing. Here is 2 damage and a Nahalem. Okay, yeah, so this is just pure DOTE Beatdown, or busted DOTE. Classic if you were. I wonder if he's playing crits. If he's playing crits, this guy's God tier. If he's not, he's just okay. I'm just kidding. He's awesome, whatever. I'm always so like, I think cringy whenever I do these live commentaries. I'm so focused on the game, but also want to tell you guys about what I'm thinking. And there we see Dauntless Dragon. Interesting. I'm going to force at least 1 card on my opponent here to get rid of the Hell Hunger if he wants to get the 2 damage through. Berserk Dragon. I think I'm okay with this. Unless he commits a... Oh. I think I'm really okay. Did he make a mistake? No, he has the Curse. I was like, does he not have a booster? If he doesn't have a booster here, we're looking real good. No Curse effect. Dude, his hand must be God tier. I wonder what it is. It's probably like DOTE and like something else. What's kind of cool here is that I don't really need to commit anything from my hand to actually do a good turn, because I have 3 DOTEs in hand, and he just gave me 2 damage. That heal whiffed. I'm okay with that actually, because it lets me still DOTE. Wished it was a draw though. That'd been super sick. No need for a booster either. So I don't want to give him 4 damage. I don't think. Or do I care? No, I don't want to. Yeah, I'm gonna ride this. I could call the Jacquard just to call it. This is interesting, because if I call this Jacquard, I think I don't care if he, you know what? I'm gonna do it, because like giving him 2 damage and that's it, I think is okay. And if I get the trigger, I do. Like if I get the trigger, it'll be meant to be to deal him 2 damage. If I don't, it's fine. I get to draw 2 cards, get 4 drive checks. I'm okay with that. All right, so there's the, oh, well, okay. I guess it was not meant to be, because my deck is like, no, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. So yeah, there we go. That you hate to see that. I may not be playing Limit Break, but drive checking heals can still suck. But it's okay. I think we're in a fine position here, honestly. Like we're not doing much, but like neither is he. He wasted that Berserk Dragon 2 counterblast, and if he doesn't see a Bellicosity this turn, he's got a Conroe too. I'm not afraid of Dauntless Drive DOTE at this point because he cannot triple restand. So like, who cares? So like, I'm just profoundly confused. I could potentially push him to, oh, please draw a booster. He got the Bellicosity and the strike, and I really want to draw a booster this turn. I really do. I really want to draw a booster this turn. It's like crazy how badly I want that. Here's the booster. All right, give me a draw trigger on this damage check and I'll get a booster, and it'll be awesome. All these grade 1s being checked. I want at least 1 of them. Give me 1. Draw trigger, booster. Give it to me. Yes! Oh, great card. I don't think I need Blockade Inferno at this point. I'm gonna ditch it, like, for sure. I could get a 2nd booster. And I have the Bellicosity, so I could triple restand. I could double restand right now. I think it's smarter to get the Bellicosity swing. Yes, it is. But if I get the booster here, it's a booster, but I don't want to commit it. So I think we're gonna go main phase like this, right? Yes. Swing at that. Okay. we get a trigger? We don't. Okay, so now we need to get a trigger for our DOTE check to go through, which is fine. We have plenty. Oh, that's a great. Okay, we swing this. This could be a really cool turn, I think. I want at the very least. Oh gosh, do I get the 2 damage? Do I get the guaranteed counter charge? I think the counter charge doesn't matter. I think I'm hyping it up too much. I think it doesn't matter. I'd rather go for this. Correct play. I thought about it. Correct play. 1000% correct play. Yeah, for sure. I will give him 3 damage here, but I don't care. I really don't. 5 damage right there. 2 Counterblast open. I have another DOTE in hand. I have another grade 2 in hand, so I could get the lethal swings in. I know he has 1 PG exhausted, so only 3 maximum. We saw him drive check 1 earlier, so only 2 maximum. I'm feeling pretty good here if he doesn't heal, which he'll see a lot of cards, but he needs to have a lot of cards in hand. He needs to have 4 cards in hand to do this. He didn't even break ride. He doesn't even have break ride. He has no. He could have broke ride Dauntless there, but he doesn't want to discard his hand, I guess. If he doesn't heal here, I think we just win. Straight up. I mean, this is a crazy game. Okay, he got the heal, so we don't just outright win, but this could be actually pretty good for us too still. Yeah, draw trigger again. Okay, that's pretty good for him. All right, so he's catching back up, but I feel very far ahead right now. If only we had the ability to go for Blockade Inferno, like guaranteed. I wish we did, but we rode Gojo, which is sad. Speaking of Gojo, yeah, right skip here. I'm gonna put the Gojo behind the Vanguard. I'm gonna go battle. I'm gonna swing here. No trigger's fine. I can get guaranteed damage here as long as I get a defensive, which he's seen quite a few cards. The power of DOTE versus Dauntless Drive Dragon. There's Blockade Inferno. We still can't use the effect, but it's a good rear guard to attack with, I guess. We get the counter charge with our boy here. Do I have a DOTE left? I may just. I think I do, which if he'll PG here, so I won't be able to use it, but if I get my last DOTE and I use all 3 DOTE checks, I'm gonna feel really cool. Double draw trigger, what a waste, but not really. I mean, my hand's stacked now, which is nice, but he's gonna get the PG. We have 3 PGs, 3 damage, and an intercept. I'm feeling real good. He's seen 1, 2 DOTEs go away. So he only has 1 restand potential from that, but he has another restand in the break ride. But he doesn't have enough cards to facilitate all that stuff yet. So I'm feeling pretty good. We've exhausted his resources to the point where he can't do anything. And there we go! We get the scoop in the Kagero mirror match, boys and girls. We took it slow. Our checks came to us. DOTE was, of course, the MVP, like he always is. That feels good, boys and girls. And boom, there you guys go. That's it for my DOTE Seal Dragon beatdown deck in the Vanguard Zero Set 11 format. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell for notifications so you know when my videos go live for you. I am so happy the new year has started off with a bang thanks to this brand new set in Vanguard Zero. I miss making Vanguard Zero content, so be sure to let me know down below what video you guys want to see from me next. I have some fun ideas in the works that I'll be working for very slowly, but I still want to hear you guys' thoughts. Leave them down below in the comments. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I've been your true champion, Steven. Please be sure to work hard, rest easy, and live well. And I will see you all next time. Peace.